Hey everyone, how you doing? My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. If you like making money, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave comments below if you have any comments, any questions. Leave them down there and I like reading them. So I've got a comment here. I'll read it and I'll answer it obviously. I just watched your previous video on portfolio management. Can you make a video on the best way to scan through a sector that you want to target to find the best names to look at? It would be great if you could literally show what site you use or any type of screening methods or just your entire process for creating a list of target companies. So I was actually just going through a sector. So typically what I do is I identify a sector that is worth looking into. So we know that we have real estate, we know the market conditions, we know that we're going to have inflation, and we know that inflation spurs higher interest rates. We know that commodities are cheap from a valuation standpoint. So I am very commodity based, and I'm doing research. So one of the areas that I was looking into was the fundamentals of graphite. I know that graphite's used in batteries. I know that we have electric vehicles coming, and this is ramping up quite substantially. So I wanted to see what the market balance looked like. I wanted to see when graphite was going into a deficit. And it looks like, looking at some of the charts, let me pull one up here just to see. I'm looking at graphite demand just to show you. Market forecaster Roscoe predicts graphite demand from battery makers will grow by 23 to 27% each year through to 2028. So that's, I'm gonna yank this off here real quick. So this is what it looks like. And it looks like it goes into deficit. If this is the demand here, and this is the supply, 2025 is what it looks like. It starts to really start spreading out. It says potential supply deficit once planned capacity and projects come online. This is the deficit there. And I'm just looking to see kind of when this stuff starts to come. I know the market is forward looking. So we know that the market's forward looking. I'm starting to look at graphite because I look at the deficits here and I'm going, well, that looks interesting. And if you've got demand growing by 23 to 27%, I mean, you're just literally going vertical. And the supply is not going to catch up. So this is, it's basically an ingredient for prices to go vertical. And I'm looking at this going, well, okay, what mining companies are out there? So what I do is I go into Google. I literally just, I open up, Google here or something. I just type in graphite mining companies. And then here's some companies here. One of the companies is Westwater. It's not on here, but they bought Alabama Graphite. I did some research into that, and that one's looking pretty good. The chart looks very good too. So typically what I do is I just do a search like that, and I came up with a bunch of graphite mining companies here. You might go back, top 3 graphite miners to consider. I'll just start looking at articles, and what I do is I basically come up with a group of companies based off of me just kind of searching off the internet. It says Balama ore reserves compared to Australian and Canadian listed companies. So this guy has my top 3 graphite miners. And what I'll do, here's Syra resources, and I think someone actually asked me about Syra. And then I'll say, okay, it's SYAAF. I'll type in like that. I'll look at the graph of it. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look amazing. I mean, looks like it might roll over a little bit. But I look at that. I look at the charts, and I literally just search for articles that say, oh, hey, look, here's 4 junior graphite miners. I already clicked on that before, and it gives you, Northern Graphite Corporation, Mason Graphite, Leading Edge Materials Group, Focus Graphite, and I'll look at maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different articles. I'll see what people recommend, and then I just go to technical charting. I graph them all out. Now, if I see something that looks fantastic from a graph standpoint, I'll say, holy crap, this one looks really good. Then I start digging into the company. Now, I'm not a big chaser. I don't like chasing things. So if I see a company that's gone up 10 or 20x, probably won't go into it. Now, if I see one that's just about to break out, nice chart pattern, I'll start looking into the fundamentals of the company. I'll look at who runs it, where are they located. I'll look at uh, what is it, a project? Is it a developer, explorer? Like what's going on with that company? I look at the market cap. The market cap, if it's below, I'd say like 30 million, that's a like 10 to 30 million. That's a really good spot to be in. If it's in that size, I get very excited if I can find all of those things. So it is doing searches. It's no big deal. I'll start searching for companies in like Google, and then they'll have recommended companies and other companies that people researched, and I'll look at all of those companies, and then I literally just go down the rabbit hole and I just search and look at all the charts of all the companies in that sector. And if I look at the charts, they look compelling. I do further research. I look into the company itself. I look into where is it located? What's the management like? I start really digging into it if I see a really good chart set up in the pattern, because typically the chart will tell you what the market thinks. And if the market thinks that this thing's going to be good, we should see this thing ready to launch. It either has launched or it's about to launch. I want to find the ones that are about to launch or just broke out of patterns and are about to go. Those are the ones that have me really excited. I don't like chasing. I'm not a guy that sees, hey, this thing's up 400%. I just don't want to chase it. It's not in my blood. I want to be before it. I have found some companies that are pretty good. I'm presenting some of them in some videos. I think it's Westwater is one of them. Lightbridge was another one that I thought was pretty compelling, just from the power perspective behind it, from the chart at least. And that's a nuclear company that puts in a fuel to make the fuel more efficient. So I that's how I kind of approach this. I don't use a stock screening tool in a like Fidelity or in a brokerage account. I don't do any of that. I don't really use screening tools at all. I just look for what people think are the best companies on the internet. Then I do my research if the chart looks good. So if you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and leave comments below. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.